Hey guys, we're going to go over a couple of problems from the study guide. I'm going to begin with, this is from lesson 48, it's number 11. All right, we have the square root of m squared y, and then the cubed root of m to the fourth y. Okay, and with this, we're just being asked to simplify it, is what they're telling us to do, is simplify it. So with simplifying it, we want to get rid of the radical signs and see what we can combine. We want to combine things. So that first thing that we want to do is let's get rid of the radical signs. And remember, we get rid of the radical signs by raising it to a power of 1/2. So like say the square root of 3, the square root of 3 is equal to 3 to the 1/2, right? So I'm going to replace these radical signs by raising these items that are underneath it to the 1/2 power. So I'm going to have m squared y to the 1/2. Okay, and this in here is a cubed root, so this in here is actually going to be raised to the 1/3. So now I'm going to have m to the 4th y raised to the 3rd power. Okay, and now remember when we have an exponent, say if we have 2 cubed and we raise that to another power, remember that we would multiply these. So this would wind up being 2 to the 9th, right? So when we take one exponent, when we take an exponent, we raise it to another power, we multiply them. Okay, so this m squared to the 1/2, 2 times 1/2 is just going to be 1, so we're just going to get m. Okay, now I've got the y, which is y to the 1, and y to the 1 times 1/2 is going to be y to the 1/2. All right, here I have this m to the 4th. The 4th times the 1/3 is going to give me m to the 4/3. All right, and the y is raised to 1 power, so this is going to be y to the 1/3. Okay, and now remember, when I have two bases with the same exponent, with the same base, if I've got this right here and I'm looking to multiply those two, x squared times x cubed, remember there I add those exponents, so I get x to the 6th. Okay, so here I'm wanting to add these exponents. So here, I have m, and then I have m to the 4/3. So I need to add those exponents. This exponent here is a 1. So let's make this m to the 3/3 and m to the 4/3. So those are the same. Okay, and here I have y to the 1/2 and I have y to the 1/3. So let's make those both the same. So let's make this y to the 6th. So this right here is going to become y to the 3/6. And this is going to become y to the 2/6. So now I can add those across, and I'm going to get m to the 7/3 and y to the 5/6. Okay, so that's how that one works out. The next one that I've had a student ask for is also from lesson 48. This is going to be exercise number 18. All right, with this I have a triangle. All right, it's a right triangle. I'm given angle A and B. Actually, I'm not given them. I don't know what they are, but they're labeled. And we have 4, we have 6, and we have X. And the problem says find angle A. Angle A. All right, so this is what we're looking for up here. So as we look at this angle right here, okay, we know that X is the opposite, 4 is the adjacent, and 6 is the hypotenuse, okay? So think about with our relationships. Remember, we have our sine, cosine, and tangent, and sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse, cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, and tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. That's SOHCAHTOA. Okay, well here we know the adjacent and we know the hypotenuse. Okay, so here we're just going to have that the cosine of angle A is going to be equal to the adjacent, which is 4, over 6. All right, so I know that the cosine of angle A equals, and I can take that, the 4/6 and divide it out. 4 divided by 6 equals, this 0.66, say 7. And then what you wind up doing is calculating the inverse cosine. So like on my calculator, I wind up hitting shift and then the cosine key. I've entered in this number. Actually, when I did this division up here, this number was already in my calculator. So I put this in first, and then I hit this right here second. And what I get when I hit that is 48.19. Okay? And so that's how that one's going to work out. And so just looking at the angle that I'm looking for and seeing what sides do you already know. And in this one, we actually have a value for the 4 and the 6. So I don't have to even calculate any of the other values because I already have those. Okay, the last one that I have been asked to solve is lesson 49. It's number 30. Okay, so this is lesson 49. It's number 30. We have x over 2 minus x plus 2 over 5 equals 1. All right, and as I look at what they ask you to do, they just use the word solve. They're just telling you to solve this. Okay, so when I am solving this, I'm solving for x. They want you to find out what's the value of x. All right, so with this, the first thing I want to do is get rid of the fractions. If you think about it, what's the thing that makes this ugly? It's having those fractions down there. So let's get rid of the fraction. So my common denominator would be 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each term in this equation by 10. Okay, so here the 2 is going to cancel out, and that's going to be a 5. Here the 5 is going to cancel out, and that's going to be a 2. All right, so now I've got this 5 times x is going to give me 5x. All right, I have the 2. All right, this negative sign, this is an important thing. This negative sign applies to the x, and this negative sign applies to the 2. So I have 2 times this negative x is going to give me negative 2x, and I have 2 times this negative 2 is going to give me 4, negative 4, and then over here the 1 times 10 is going to be 10. Okay, so now the 5x, the negative 2x is going to give me 3x. Okay, and the 4 is going to move over there. I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and I get that x equals 14 thirds. Okay? All right, hopefully that helps. If you need anything else, please feel free to send me an email, and I'll be happy to work out any other problems for you.